2025, and we're glad to be alive, glad to have you. Join us on great conversations woven around our environment. Yes, and it's not just the environment; it's all encompassing, because it's the way we take care of our environment. That's the way it is going to react to us. Yes, there are adverse effects and consequences. To behold if we do not do the right thing as regards, ensuring that we are environmentally aware and, environmentally conscious. All right. Of course, this program is a compelling and informative radio program dedicated to raising environmental awareness and promoting sustainable sanitation practices, most of all. All right, so we get to delve into the importance of being environmentally conscious, and we also explore practical ways at which we can dispose and manage our waste. It's all in a bid to achieve a cleaner and a more sustainable environment. And this program, Cleaning Edge, is brought to you by the Lagos Waste Management Authority, LOMA, in partnership with Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. My name is Mike James. Welcome to the show. Today on the show, we shall be, taking a look at some key waste management practices residents should adopt. The Lagos Waste Management Authority, LOMA, is an agency that oversees waste management activities in Lagos State. That's their core mandate. And with the state's rapid urbanization, playing host to approximately 25 million residents, improper waste management practices is not an uncommon phenomenon, and many residents with poor attitude to hygiene and the environment afflict public health with, improper waste management habits. And as part of efforts to address this menace, LOMA, which is the Lagos Waste Management Authority, the agency is saddled with a mandate of overseeing waste management activities, consistently sensitizes residents. Yeah, they've gone about, talking to residents through various mediums, one of which is this radio program, as well as other TV and magazine publication, sensitizing residents through all these channels, all in a bid to, let them know that this is the right way to go as regards waste management. And also, just like I always say, it begins with you and I, because we are the waste generators. They've also gone through other channels such as community advocacy, school visitation, market visitations, holding stakeholders meetings, even they've gone as far as reaching out to the garages. And just like I said, making, coming up with stakeholders' engagement. That whole idea of this is to educate you and I, as residents in Lagos, on the need to embrace positive attitude, especially towards the environment, and adopt sustainable waste management practices for a cleaner, safer, and healthier environment. So residents are therefore expected to adopt some key waste management practices to promote environmental sustainability, and these are the, tips, the key waste management practices, which we shall be dealing with on the show this month. But before we begin the conversation, let's go on a break. We'll take a message from our partners. When we return, we'll serve you some traffic updates, and then we'll continue the conversation. Stay here.
Stop it! Yes, you don't do it. Indiscriminate dumping of refuse into drainage channels is prohibited in Lagos State. It has to stop. Henceforth, it's zero tolerance for building or erecting structures on drainages, setbacks, and alignments in Lagos State. Government is doing its best to make our environment clean and safe. As responsible citizens, we too should play our part to sustain it. Dumping of refuse into drainages, canals, or gutters destroys our roads and drainage systems, causes flooding in some areas, and poses great dangers to lives and damage to our public structures. Desist from disposing refuse into drainage channels and canals. It's damaging to the image of Lagos State. Remember, there are laws and regulations guiding the disposal of waste in Lagos State. Offenders will be prosecuted according to the law. Do the right thing. Use refuse bins, not canals, gutters, or drains. Dispose waste responsibly. Protect our drainage system. Contribute to a safer environment for us all. ìgbéga ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó àjùmọ̀ṣe ni o. Office of Drainage Services, announcer.
If you ask me what a team of heroes look like, I would say people committed to creating a clean and beautiful state. After all, what's there to love about living in a dirty and harmful environment? That's why at Loma, we built an exceptional team with people like the fearless Binga who picks up waste from your house and streets, the Swift Musa who navigates all waste to the landfills, Iya Dupe, the super cleaner who saves our roads from litters, and of course, our magical recycler, Atinuke, who converts waste to wealth. Everyone at Loma is committed to keeping Lagos clean in every way for a safer and healthier Lagos. Loma, a league of heroes. Keep Lagos clean.
Lagos, welcome back to the show. It's Clean and Edge here on Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. Let's see if we can get this traffic report coming in real quick. Good morning to you. Hello, I think we have a delay on the phone line, waiting to give us some traffic report. Let's see if we can do some cleanup here so we can connect with him. Can you hear me, Adelaide?
Yes.
Oh, good to have you again. Talk to us.
Thank you. Yeah, quick review of the report. So the road is now open for vehicular movement at this hour, joining inwards the island via Third Mainland Bridge. The Lagos Access Bank, Lagos City Marathon has completed. So the road is fully open to traffic as well. Movement on Funshaw Williams Avenue also open for those coming from Eco Bridge and to Funshaw Williams Avenue to connect Eco Road down to Anthony. Movement as well on Bagada Road, Shuki Expressway, joining inward Ianu Road, connecting to Car Wash or joining inward the island. It's very good to use now, though we have high influx, but are moving at a faster pace, and our traffic managers are on ground still doing the needful along. So for now, that's the report.
All right, then. Adelaide, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Of course, we'll be expecting more from you time after time.
Yeah, I'll keep you updated.
All right, then. So, let's see. Okay, so that's the latest regarding the Lagos Access Marathon, which was on. I understand some corridors were, closed to traffic movement, but then these corridors have been opened for vehicular movement now. That's the Yanawuru route connecting the Third Mainland Bridge, linking the island, now open for movement. Funshaw Williams Avenue, that's from Eco Bridge through Funshaw Williams, connecting the Corridor Road, is now open, so you can have access to your destination via that corridor. And the Bagada Oroshuki corridor, equally open, although it's receiving high influx. But of course, for Alam, we have traffic managers very much on ground doing the needful. So, like I said, today we shall be sharing some key waste management practices you and I should adopt in a bid to achieve a sustainable environment. Let's begin with the much talked about. None of these tips are strange or new. It's the same process, the same practice which we've been, trying to enlighten you. Yes, it's the same way to go about it. And, we're just revisiting it in a different style this time. Like we always say, constant sensitization is key in a bid to achieve a sustainable environment and to ensure that, residents such as you and I embrace positive practices regarding waste management from our homes. It begins with you and I. So that's why, Loma has come out to say, hey, we'll keep telling you about it. We'll keep, educating you, enlightening you. We'll go through all the various available channels just to ensure that you are aware of the right way to go. So waste containerization is something that is much talked about. And of course, this is the first step to effective waste management practice. Yes, and it's a proper way of storing waste. That is, in code, to waste containerization. And it's very essential to avoid waste littering, which is capable of causing diseases in a household. And residents, such as you and I, are expected to have a proper waste bin to store waste temporarily before it is evacuated by the PSP operators. So what's that bin you need to get? Not just any container. Forget the fact that it's called waste containerization, but there's a specific bin which Loma has come out to say, okay, this is what you must have to ensure that you are, doing things the right way. It must be a 240-liter bin with a lid for cover to ensure that your waste does not spill on the ground. And perhaps it must have a wheel to make it easy for transportation. And of course, these waste bins come in various colors, and these colors are quite significant. Yes. Okay, so we'll get to that, but let's move on. Waste segregation is another, a waste management practice which you need to, make a habit. Yes, which you need to embrace. Waste segregation, which we've been talking about for some time as well, and we're not going to stop talking about it. This is also very important for residents, you and I, to imbibe the culture of waste sorting. Combining waste is not healthy, like we always say. Separating waste into categories like organic, which include your food scraps, garden waste, and your waste labels, such as your plastic, paper, glass, and metal. We also have the hazardous waste, which include batteries and electronic waste, and even chemicals. Separating this waste into these categories enables ease of recovery. Yes, in terms of value, organic waste we know can be composted to become fertilizers, and the plastic wastes can be recycled. Yes, and it has its own economic benefits. All right, while the hazardous waste, there are ways at which, Loma goes about, treating those waste before they can be dumped in the landfills, because they contain some chemicals that can be hazardous to our health and the environment at large. So waste segregation is very important. This is a key aspect of waste management. Let's not forget waste reduction and recycling, which we've been talking about. Like, we're just doing an overview of these waste management practices we need to embrace as residents in Lagos. Now, it is always economical and beneficial to opt for reusable bags, PET bottles, and containers at large, rather than going to the market and shopping empty-handed and still returning home with lots of new packaging and nylons. Now, reducing the amount of waste we generate is a conscious step to practicing sustainable waste management, and this is also essential to clean, and sort recyclable materials, which includes your PET bottles, your cans, and these type of waste, these materials are valuable resources that can be sold to people who need it. So we'll get to talk about its economic values on our subsequent programs. And let's not forget effective patronage of Loma assigned PSP. So we're going to look deep into this, because do you know that it is an offense for you to patronize cat pushers? Of course, if you're hearing this for the first time, thank God you know it now, because we have the Loma officials watching you. We have the enforcement team watching you. And that's why they've come out to say it, and we'll keep saying it. Patronize the LOMA assigned PSP operators. You're expected to do so. To patronize only assigned PSP operators, because the PSP is assigned to different wards in the community to evacuate household waste. Now, once again, I would reiterate that it is an offense for you to patronize garbage cart pushers, or to burn your waste or deposit your waste into canals and drainage channels. Yes, it is a big offense, and we have the LOMA enforcement team watching you. And if you're caught, of course, you face the consequences, like we always say. And let's not forget, paying your waste bills, your PSP bills promptly also helps keep them in the business. And as long as you reside in Lagos, you generate waste, you're expected to pay your waste services at home. You pay for your waste services, pay your PSP bills, whether at home or your business place. Now, it's not free, we need to let you know, because it's the money generated that keeps them in the business, logistic-wise. So you and I as residents have been advised by LOMA to also cultivate the habit of, not migrating waste from your homes to the road medians or illegal points. It's quite disgusting, seeing waste litter the entire road medians and all that, and it defaces the environment, of course, and it could lead to the spread of diseases and all sorts. So please reach out to your PSP operators, service in your area, if you're having waste management issues. And of course, we're going to let you in on the numbers at which you can connect with LOMA if you're having waste management issues. Yeah, so we'll let you in before the end of the show. Okay, so we also have, reporting illegal dumping and waste infractions. Yes, like what we say, waste management is a collective effort. Yes, so we have a role to play in this regard. It's a chain. It's like a chain, yes. We can become a whistleblower if you observe improper and illegal acts towards the environment. If you see that person who has refused to change or refused to put a stop to that bad habit that defaces the environment, you can whistleblow. Now, a responsible resident should report any offensive action done to the environment or infraction by calling LOMA's toll-free lines, which I will be, dishing out towards the end of the show. You can also take pictures and tag the authority via the social media platforms, which I'll let you in on. In the same vein, you're expected not to dump waste indiscriminately in public places, because it is a punishable offense. We're letting you in on this one more time, just as we've been doing and will continue doing. So let's not forget, participating in community cleanup programs is also key, because we are expected to do so. It's all about championing community cleanup exercises within our communities and participating in it. And we also have it also behoves on us, I beg your pardon, to encourage others, our neighbors, our friends, our well-wishers to adopt this practice. Remember that a community can decide to have a general sanitation exercise done every last Saturday of the month to ensure that the environment remains habitable and people-friendly. And by adopting this key waste management practices, which I've shared with you, I want to believe that you can significantly reduce your environmental impact and conserve natural resources, and most importantly, contribute to a more sustainable, future environment for us to live in. So we've looked at some of the key waste management practices which we must adopt. They're not new to us, but hey, we'll keep reiterating them and letting you in on these habits which you must adopt. These practices, I beg your pardon. So like I promised, I'll be dishing out the numbers at which you can or channels at which you can reach out to LOMA if you've got waste management challenges. We have text messages. You can send a text message to LOMA on 080 000 52962, and via social media on Facebook, loma.gov, on Instagram, loma_gov, or you can send an email to info@loma.gov.ng. WhatsApp up and running 0708 060 1020 or 080 000 LOMA. These are toll-free lines at which you can connect with LOMA if you've got waste management challenge. And this is where I'll be putting a stop to the program for today's edition of Clean and Edge. I must say a very, very big thank you to Mrs. Folashade Kadri, Director of Public Affairs for LOMA, and on behalf of my executive producer, Tayo Akonli. The show will come your way again next week, Saturday, at exactly 9:15. But you then to have yourself a that free weekend and a wonderful week ahead. My name is Mike James.
If you asked me what a team of heroes look like, I would say people committed to creating a clean and beautiful state. After all, what's there to love about living in a dirty and harmful environment? That's why at Loma, we built an exceptional team with people like the fearless Binga who picks up waste from your house and streets, the Sweet Musa who navigates all waste to the landfills, Yadupe, the super cleaner who saves our roads.